Hello. So today we're going to look at the moderns, a treasury of painting throughout the world. Now, on one hand, you could say I could just go to, I don't know, Pinterest and just look through random images on Pinterest. But the value of books like these is often they have paintings that are not available anywhere else to see because they're from private collections. And also, they are generally curated so that you get a nice wide range of different options and you could run across paintings or artists that you have never heard of before. And to me, that's part of the joy. And also, I just like to have the big format, very well printed images of it, which isn't necessarily available on my phone or tablet. So this is called Moderns. Let's see when this is printed. Oh, is it not going to tell us? Well, we'll guess in the 70s. It's funny that it doesn't say. So, it's not like modern, I guess is my point. It's things that were modern at the time of the book printing, which is not today. Alright, so we got some, and these are actually pasted into the book. So they printed the image and then pasted it in so that the book was printed in black and white. That also says that this is probably from the 60s or 70s, when they wouldn't print the colored pages as part of the printing process. Vincent Van Gogh. All right, this one is an actual full sheet, is it? Yes. Careful. This was given to me by a friend. Oh. Now, see, there's an additional page in there. I want to open this without hurting it. This is why you should go through your books regularly so that they don't stick. So some beautiful images, and also, so this one is a separate piece. There's also quite a lot of content in here, which may or may not be available in a general use website. You know, the web has a lot, but it does not have everything. So that's a standalone page. So definitely some intriguing images in here. I want to get my shadow on here, but I also want to make sure that the camera glare is not causing issues. So some of them that are printed on the base page are just black and white. Others, there's a full color plate that was inserted into the book. And then some of them are color plates that are pasted down onto the base paper. So I really like the range of images made available in here. A variety of styles. There are some nudes, but a nice collection of all sorts of different things. You know, some people, some landscapes, some that are more abstract, some that are more representational. And you know, when you have a category like modern, what does that even mean? Just anything after a certain time period, but people have all sorts of different styles, and some of them are a little less specific and heading more abstract. I really like that one a lot. I always like Kandinsky. Like that one a lot. So a nice range of different things to be inspired by. And this could always be a fun book where you flip through to a random page and just think about that piece of art and really study it and look at all the details in it. And it could be that you find something in here and then you go out and look on the web and look up all her other work and love Mondrian. and see where you could go see things in person, because as good or not good as a particular representation is, let's say that they paid a whole lot of attention to exactly color matching this and so on, but if you go see some of these things in person, the textures of the paint, sometimes those don't come through, the exact details. It's just so much better to see things in person if you can. And if you can't, then I really like having a well-printed physical book as my next best option, because the glowing of a computer monitor does things to a piece of art that aren't always present in the original piece. And then if you have no other choice, I mean, like if you like one of his pieces and you want to go look up more and you find some on the web, but at least it gives you a starting point that you can look at the pieces and see how they're styled and what kinds of colors were tended to be used and so on. So it's all what you're able to do. We all have different abilities and different limits and so on. I enjoy the range of art available here. I like the amount of color that they have in here, even for this being an older book. A lot of the older books that I own have very low color use, and it's just hard to get the full impact of something if it was a color piece. Like imagine trying to see this just in black and white. You would, because a lot of the value levels are the same, it would, I think, blur out a lot. So it's really nice to be able to see it in color. And even so, it has like a dark stripe on the edge, which I think is probably not part of the original painting. So you have to wonder if when they took a picture of it, there was like a shadow from the frame or something like that that was affecting it. So they do the best that they can with the limitations that they are presented with. Not all museums are going to let you pull a piece out of its frame to be able to get a incredibly clear image of it. And if something's under glass, they might not let you take the glass. Like, I'm curious, there's a little bit of darkness on the bottom of this, and there's a stripe of darkness up here. And I wonder if those are actually part of the original painting, or if that's some sort of an artifact of a shadow cast by a frame or something. So, this gives you curiosity to go look at the original, but also, if you're able to go in person and see some of these things and really get a sense of, are these sort of three-dimensional lines? Is there edges to it that glisten in the light when you go from different angles? All sorts of things about seeing things in person. But it is nice to even get a sense of what's out there in the first place. And I think a well-presented book does a good job of that, of giving you all sorts of, I really like this a lot. Give you a sense of what kinds of options are even out there to start looking into different artists and their different pieces. We got a nice variety of styles. Now, it is fair to say that pretty much everything that I've seen here is European. And lots of France, Spain, a couple from Russia and so on. Holland. So if you're looking for a more worldwide view, this one's from the US. You're probably not going to get it here. This seems to be focused on primarily Europe, with a couple of US people, Holland, France, and a couple of Russians. And that's it. So just be aware that that's where they're focusing. Wait, we got one from Colombia. But Austria, Greece. And you'll have to get other books if you are looking for other kind of content. Every book is going to have some sort of, that one's from Venezuela, some sort of a bent to it. And then we get the little tiny biographies. But really, if you want a biography of one of these people in modern times, you're just going to go on the web and look them up and get far more information than a little 3-line description of what they did. So Lots of great information. I'm still sort of surprised that it doesn't have a printing year on it. 126 full color reproductions. No, does not say when it was printed. Very bizarre. Translated from French, printed in Italy, and we will never know when it was printed. I'll put a note in the description. I'm sure I can hunt it down. So let me know if you have any questions about the moderns.